Hey guys, Skis here, back with another ADA video. So this is ADA against Bitcoin, part 6. We finally did it. ADA has finally made it down to the box that we were talking about for over a year. And I've actually been watching for even longer than that. But we're finally made it down to the box between 400 and 500 Satoshis. We're currently sitting at 494. And we actually came down to this box last week. Last Friday. The lowest we went to was around 480 sats. So we went a little bit lower, but we're in the box that was our target area. I want to show this video from almost exactly a year ago. But my lighting right now is so bad. I need to get a new light in my room. But yeah, I made this video October 19th, 2023. It's October 30th, 2024 today. So yeah, just over a year ago. You can see that we were actually targeting this box. We were saying 400 to 500 sats. And a year ago, ADA Bitcoin was at 854 sats. So, if you just waited out another year, which is a long time, but 854 to where we are right now, around a 42% drop. So pretty sizable move down. Even though we're in the target area, I still think that we're going to go a little bit lower because, my target area was 500 sats, but it was also 400 sats. And, let's say, for example, we do make it down to 400 sats, which I think is likely. That's still another 19% drop. So even though I think we're in the accumulation zone, and I have actually personally converted a little bit of Bitcoin into ADA just to start, I actually do think we're going to keep going down. At least, I do think we'll make it to 400, but, I think we'll make it to the low 400s as well. So I think we still have room to go down. I think that we're going to be down here in this box for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. I don't really think we're going to be here and just leave immediately. We come down and then we're here and then we just leave. I think we're going to bounce around like how we bounced around last time. I don't think it's going to be as long though. So last time we came down to this area, we were in this zone for around 252 days. I don't think it's going to be 252 days this time, mainly because the time it took for us to get from top to bottom last time was way shorter than the time it took us to get from top to bottom this time. And if we measure the days from top to bottom last cycle, it took us around 581 days to finally reach this zone from the peak. And then this cycle, it took us more than double. It took us 1,148 days. So the reason I don't think we're going to be here in this box for as long is because I think some time that we spent in this zone last time was spent in this area this time. So if we did just come down way faster, I think we would stay in this zone for a longer period. But because it took us a lot longer to come down, I do think we're going to stay in this zone for some time, but I don't think it's going to be 258 days. That being said, I think it's going to be a couple weeks to months. I think it might be until December, and then maybe January is when we start leaving, or late December or something. And that's completely fine because that gives us time to accumulate, and we don't need a rush. We can just slowly accumulate, slowly convert Bitcoin into ADA, and just wait after that and just take it really slow. This isn't a super short-term play. This is a monthly play. This is going to probably take 8 months to play out total, or 7 to 8 months from right now, I think will probably be how long it's going to take for this entire move to play out and then us to reconvert it out. So, I also want to talk about the this chart, which is ADA for Bitcoin, but it's actually 1 over ADA Bitcoin. So what this chart is telling you if you converted 1 Bitcoin, how much ADA would you get? So currently right now, if you converted 1 whole Bitcoin right now into ADA, you would get 202,000 ADA, which is a lot of ADA. But the crazy thing is, if you converted ADA Bitcoin or Bitcoin into ADA at the low here back in August of 2021, you would only be getting 16,000 ADA. And now you're getting 202,000. And that's really the power of Bitcoin and Satoshis, and why I really like looking at pairs on their Bitcoin pair, because you can really, I feel like you can really feel the magnitude when you look at it like this. I mean, 16,000 3 years ago compared to 202,000 right now is a lot easier to see how much more of a difference that is. And you can see we're getting pretty close to the top. In this case, it's the top. When we look at ADA against Bitcoin, it's the bottom. But in this case, it's the top. And the top here, which this level here is the 400 Satoshi level, that's around 250,000 ADA for 1 Bitcoin. So we're still like a good amount away. I mean, I think it's gonna be the same percentage move, maybe a little bit different. It's actually a 23% increase. I think that we're gonna get around this level, around 250,000. So we're pretty close, but we're not exactly there yet. But I just want to talk about it like that because I feel like it's kind of an easier way to understand how this play is gonna work out. And let's flip it back to just ADA Bitcoin. So, okay, so the play, just to say it again, just in case you guys missed it, the play is pretty simple for this. It's really to just average in at around 450 sats. And I think we're going to have weeks to, a couple months to do this conversion. So you don't need to, do it all right now. And then do nothing until 5,000 sats. I'm not even going to wait. I don't even want to wait for the top because I think just getting the majority of the move is enough. I think 10xing your Bitcoin is enough. And I think that's all, I think that's majority of the move because we're never going to be able to time the top or bottom exactly. But if we can just get the bulk of the move, then I think that's enough. So that's the play. Convert at 450 or average converting at 450, or honestly, anywhere in this box is fine. And then just selling it all, converting it back into Bitcoin at around 5,000. And another reason why I think we're in the accumulation zone, and why, even though I do think we can go to 400, which is a 19% drop, 19% drop, is because I think majority of the move down is over with. I don't really need to wait for the exact bottom because I know I'm not going to time the exact bottom. But if we take the top from where we were at in August to how much it's dropped, I mean, where we are right now is 92.1% down. I honestly think that's majority of the drop. It could go lower. It could always go lower, right? Like if we do make it down to 400 sats from top to bottom, that's 93.6. So it is still that's a big difference. 92 to 93 is a big difference. But just based on the chart and the zones that it's historically shown, I think that majority of the move is over with. So I think that starting to accumulate is a good idea. And I have actually started to accumulate. I bought a little bit at 492, but really not anything significant because I do think we're going to go lower. But because we reached my target zone and I've been waiting for so long, and I think that majority of the move is over with, I think it's worth starting to accumulate. So that's really it, guys. We finally did it. I think one scenario that this can play out which would actually be really, really similar to the last cycle, is that because I think we're going to be here for a little bit of time, I think we might be here until December, January. That gives us enough time to do whatever it needs to do down here, right? And I think Bitcoin's going to be, doing whatever it's going to do until December, January. But I really think like the real big altcoin moves in the markets that everyone's always talking about, I really think that's going to happen in 2025. I think it's going to happen the first quarter of 2025. And what would be really interesting is that it would kind of mimic this move right here. I think this move might be mimicked. Oh, whoops. I think this move might actually be what happens in 2025. And the thing is, it's actually the same time frame too, because this started at the end of December and went all the way on to, I mean, even if you just take it to the 5,000 sat level, which is the target that I'm targeting, that actually took us till, that took 133 days, which is 4 months. So end of December to the beginning of May. So basically January to May. So around 4 or 5 months. And that actually is like lines up pretty perfectly with 4 years later, which would be the end of 2024 going into 2025. So I don't know if it's going to play out exactly in that time frame, but I think it's going to play something similar to this, and that's kind of the time frame that I'm targeting. And we'll just have to see how it plays out because, I don't know the future or anything, but I do look at charts for a long time, and ADA's been getting a lot of hate this entire bear market for like 2-3 years now, and I don't think it's going to last forever. And I think that we're pretty close to the bottom. And ADA is not even the only coin that's been doing really bad against Bitcoin. Ethereum, for example, has been getting so much hate recently and has actually been doing so bad on its Bitcoin pair. And that's another coin, for example, that I think that when it's time, it's really going to just all of a sudden flip a switch and just go up. And I think ADA is also going to do that. It's going to have its moment in the market cycle. So yeah, guys, that's ADA Bitcoin right now. I think it is an accumulation zone, but I think we'll be here for a couple weeks. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.